Hi guys, welcome to yet another episode of Treg TV. We're still in our short sale series. I'm Scott Hazard.
And I'm Dan Ford, and together we sell homes for happy clients along the Wasatch Front.
So today we thought we'd talk about some alternatives to short sale or foreclosure. There are companies out there that try to provide what we call foreclosure rescue services. What kind of things are we talking about, Dan?
These are people who tell you they charge a fee, and they'll go ahead and save you from a foreclosure. You have to be really careful with these guys. There's lots of scams out there. There are legitimate companies that help you out, but there are scams too. For example, I had a client I was working with earlier this year that paid nearly $10,000 in upfront fees and never got anything from the foreclosure rescue person. So you have to be really careful. For one, your first thing is that foreclosure rescue people cannot charge an upfront fee in the state of Utah.
Yeah, and also in the state of Utah, if they're going to provide any kind of services for forbearance, that's where the lender says, okay, I'm going to forbear all the remedies that I might have available to me, and we're going to look at maybe some other solutions. And then we have a foreclosure rescue company that steps in and says, I'm going to help you negotiate those solutions, right? So in the state of Utah, if you have a company that steps in to provide forbearance or some kind of foreclosure rescue services, they have to have a written contract. So if you don't have a written contract with them that defines what they charge and how, and exactly defines the services that they provide, turn and run. In fact, I have a long-term client, Dan, you know of, that we've sold, I don't know, we're probably on home number 4 or 5 with this family, and she was looking at a foreclosure rescue service, kind of an attorney firm type deal, and it was $5,000 per mortgage, similar to what you were talking to. She had a first and a second. Think about those kind of dollars. When she said, oh, I don't think I want to do this, they dropped the fee immediately to $3,500 per mortgage. So times 2, that's still $7,000 to have them provide this service of foreclosure rescue. The fact of the matter is, if you want to negotiate any kind of loan modification or forbearance terms with your lender, what's your best option?
You can do it yourself. In fact, all these laws are done. All the laws that have been recently passed, causing with foreclosure, are all made so the typical person who took out a loan can actually negotiate directly with the bank. And we recommend you just do that, because in the end, you're going to be the one who makes a decision. The attorney or any kind of a foreclosure rescue person legally cannot make a decision for you. So it's best just to make those decisions for yourself. Contact the lender immediately yourself, and that's the best way to go.
And there's HUD-approved counselors that are out there where you can go to a financial counseling group, and they'll kind of help you navigate through this process a little bit. They are certified to ensure that they're legitimate and they're HUD-approved, and they'll give you contact numbers. You can just call the 1-800 number that's on your mortgage statement and talk to the lender yourself. And people will say, well, I don't know if I want to talk to the lender myself because the lender's the enemy and I'm negotiating against them, and they might not provide me with all the best solutions, so I need a professional to do that. That's really not the case, is it?
No, in fact, some of these laws that were just recently passed, especially if they took any of the bailout money, there are certain laws that they have to follow and certain programs that they have to offer you as a borrower that are actually very advantageous. Some of them are really very attractive programs. If you're willing to work with them and you want to stay in your home and you're trying to be upfront and honest with them, some of these are great programs.
Yeah, beyond the federal mandate, guys, a couple things to remember is the lender wants to keep you in the house. If there's a way for them to modify it where it's still profitable for them, you stay in the house, they don't have to foreclose, they're going to find a way to do it. I will caution you, if you watch some of our previous videos, most of these loan modifications aren't successful, usually because the situation that the borrower finds themselves in that puts them in a position where they're looking for this forbearance, the forbearance or the loan modification just historically has proven to be not enough to help that individual. So they can reduce interest rates, they can extend the amortization period, they can sometimes, in some cases, even reduce the principal balance of the loan. They just cut off money that you would typically owe or need to pay back to the lender. So there's some really good and enticing options, but it's a very small percentage of the marketplace that we've been seeing have found a great and permanent solution in loan modification and foreclosure rescue type things. So The bottom line here, guys, is be very careful in any of these third-party providers. Know that you can do a lot yourself. Check up on them by calling the 1-800 number and engage your lender directly, and make sure that you're getting good advice. If you ever need any help, any guidance, just want to talk, need some counsel, Scott, Dan, we're here all the time. That's what we're here for, is to help the folks in our community and provide valuable service, accurate and timely information so that you can make educated decisions on your own. I'm Scott Hazard.
And I'm Dan Ford, and together we sell homes for happy clients along the Wasatch Front.